I waited again. Why do I do this to me? I had I had work to get done today, and I put off my work until late, and then I didn't get able to get started on this until now. So I don't think it's going to be a very productive day. I'm going to try to code in the morning instead of the nights like this because I can't keep doing this to myself. Because I need decent sleep. Um, but I guess we can start trying to do our check check grounded logic, check grounded function. Um, um, and then there's one thing I'm not exactly sure in there's a thing in Lua. This is it. It's like there's a way to iterate through a table in Lua. That is just like this. And I say this because it's like now we need to check collision on multiple platforms. So we need to have a table containing all of our current collidable platforms. And then we need to say we need to check grounded in all of those things. So it would be this syntax here where we say for collidable or for index gosh, it's so hard for me to figure this out. So it takes an index and it'll start it'll just I think gosh. So yeah, it takes an it doesn't take an index. It's just like you're saying or whatever index. This could be called index or it can be called a variable k or whatever for key. And then value is the value at the current index. So I guess I guess I don't know what this means. But I get that the pairs let me see how CS50 did it because I was a little confused on it with the with their code. When I was doing this because I mean it makes sense once you abstract it, but like I was just not really understanding the whole pairs syntax because it's just a Lua specific thing and I just wasn't really tracking with it exactly, but I'm trying to find where here. So it takes in a table. In this case, it's pipe pairs. But pipe pairs. Okay. So basically it's saying like, hey, there's an empty table called pipe pairs. And then here we're saying you're going to insert a pipe pair into our table of pipe pairs. And then for k pair in pairs pipe pairs, this is why I was so confused about it in this example, is because one, because the table is called pairs, two, because the syntax for cycling through a table needs to be called pairs. And then pair is the value for each of the things that are getting iterated through, which in this case is pairs. Is that right? Because I'm pretty sure that this pairs with an S is specific to this syntax to loop through a table in Lua. So index value. So it's saying like for k value, so the value is a pair. And which pair is it? It's like, well, it's the current pair. No, shoot. I'm trying to figure this out because I'm trying to figure out if this k is like an I in a for loop in C, where you say, I gets 0 for as long as I is less than whatever, plus plus. But I'm not really seeing k be used anywhere. But yeah, I guess I'm confused because this says index, making me think it's like that k is equal to I guess that just means it'll go starting at index 1, because all tables are one index in Lua. And that k just tells it you run this loop as many times as there are indexes in whatever table you give it. And I'm assuming the k is just for key. Kind of like in a dictionary in Python, because it has a key and an index, or a key and key value pairs, they're called. So it's like K is the index or the key, and then pair is the value. And then this is just saying which table to iterate through. Because we're going to have to do our check grounded logic for multiple platforms. Okay. I'm trying to think where that function should live. And I guess it's with the ostrich, right? Because enemy ostriches are going to need that function as well to determine if they're grounded or not. So I feel like it should be here in the ostrich class. And then in our play state, we can probably cycle through and say for every collidable in the table of collidable platforms, run the function and yeah. So the function needs to be defined here in our ostrich class, and then our execution will probably have it here saying like loop through all collidable platforms. Actually, I'm kind of thinking that doesn't need to be in our play state. It could be or should be in our update function. Okay, well, so what does this function look like? Well, it's going to be called CheckGrounded, and it's going to return a Boolean. It's going to take in a parameter called collidable platforms. So we need Okay. I think it would be something like right now I'm thinking where our collidable platform table should get populated and when. And I think it's um, after this init or in this init. Um, so I'm saying collidable platforms is a table, an empty table. And then I'll need to say like we'll have to figure out because every collidable platform will change upon the wave. So once I figure out how to abstract different waves out, I'll figure out how to clear old collidable platform tables. But for now, I could say I think I can literally just hard code it in, say platform one is one value in this. And ground platform is another, or is the other. And then I need to give ground platform a platform class with all of the corresponding ground. It looks like our platform class has an x, a y, width, and height. So really simple. So in our ostrich logic, right here, we have gosh. I just know, so we need the x, the y, the width. We know the width is virtual width. And the height will just be however long the top of the ground is to the bottom of the picture, which, where is it? I thought I had a reference photo. That I had marked up. That's it. Where is this file? It's just in my downloads. Whatever, I'll put it in my here because that's where it should be. What the heck? Oh my gosh, okay. 36. So 36 is the height. X will be 0 because it starts at the very left. Y will be whatever this is clamped to, which is the virtual height minus the layer 1 height minus the ground offset. So yeah, you could think of this as like the Y being at the very bottom of the screen, but then shifted up by its ground offset and then shifted up by the player's height so that the Y is sitting, it'll be the Y, then the player's height, which will touch the ground, which will go all the way to the bottom of the screen because its height is 36. But yeah, the Y is just going to be the top left position. Okay. So the idea is that we now, depending on what wave we're in, we'll have to generate X amount of platforms to be in the level. And then we need to add all of those platforms to this table. And then we need to, in our Ostrich function, in our Ostrich update function, we're going to have to say something like something like this, where we'll say you need to check if what was our function called? CheckGrounded. So self CheckGrounded, and it takes in see, do I put K there? Because it needs to check, it'll be the index of every collidable platform. But this is the index, this is the value. So I think it would need to be something like this. because k is just allowing us to go through every index of this table, but platform is the actual value stored at the index of our table. Is that right? So we're running the CheckGrounded function on the Ostrich. And right now there's two collidable platforms in this table, the ground and the first one. So it'll run CheckGrounded on both of those arguments as they get passed in. Yeah, because we need to check. Yeah, we need to check the Ostrich for every collidable platform, because it's just we don't know how to. Like we just have to make sure it's not grounded on any platform, or make sure it is grounded or whatever. Okay, I think that would be right, because the thing said that was the value. So the value, I'm trying to understand if the value is like, because in this case, every thing inside this table is of platform type, because we have it classed here. So everything in that table will have all of these values associated to it, at which point we can run, or we would do all the logic up here in the function to check. Am I understanding that right? So here I have Ostrich with a collidable, but that actually shouldn't be. I think collidable isn't good enough of a description, because I've called this parameter collidable in the sense that a collidable needs a y and a height and an x and a width. But collidable isn't good enough descriptor, because if an ostrich collides with another ostrich, its behavior should be different than if it collides with a platform. So since I need to also have, eventually I'll need to have functions that are ostrich right collides with another ostrich. And in that case, I need to check for how high they are, and if their y's are equal or not. Because if their y's are equal, they bounce away, and if they're not equal, then someone dies. The joust. If they're facing each other, I'm pretty sure. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to change this to platform collidable instead of just collidable, because, well, I think it actually doesn't matter, because they're already local to the, maybe they're not. I really don't know. Like I'm, where do I use those functions? Where do I use those functions? I'm not sure where I use those functions at the moment. Right here. So I guess my question is, when I use platform 1 as a parameter here, it gets placed into the right collides function. And as far as right collides is concerned, platform 1 is actually collidable. The value collidable, because this is defined, this parameter is defined as collidable. So platform 1 will become collidable, and then platform 1.x will become collidable.x in that function. So I'm trying to think if I think the parameter name there is a sort of it's just a placeholder, you know, because we can't really, well, God, I don't know. I think to be safe, I'll have to update. I'll have to update these with, actually, instead of, I think it's fine to keep the parameter called collidable because it takes in a collidable, but we need to specify right collides platform and left collides platform and top and bottom collides platform, because right collides could also be with an ostrich, in which case we needed to be doing something different than, well, no, I'm wrong again. This is just a general collision function. So we can use this function to detect whether or not you're colliding with an ostrich. We just have to do different logic for when we're colliding with a platform collidable. Then we can cycle through all of our Ostrich collidables, and then, yeah, do appropriate logic. So, okay, so I don't think we need to do anything different there. But, I'm just not getting useful stuff done right now. I at least wrote some, boilerplate function to get us kick-started into implementing that feature. Okay. Sorry, this is like the least interesting episode, but it was late. I'm shooting a video with Scotty in the morning, some of his movie. So I got to get to bed, and I wanted to program today, so at least I got something done. So, yeah, hopefully tomorrow, after I film with Scotty, it's gonna be more productive than today was. But any amount of time success. So I'm just happy I did it today.